We got another reaction today. There's something different about VJ Edgecombe. Now I'm a Sixers fan. I love VJ Edgecombe, but I want to see what like the outside, because obviously I'm gonna be a little biased. I'm gonna like my team, but I want to see what the outside people are thinking of, bro. So let's check it out.
I know it's only Summer League, and I'm not going to overreact, but are we 100% sure this isn't Michael Jordan 2.0?
Edgecombe. Pretty solid that.
Now I'm not gonna say he know MJ, but I definitely can see him being like an Anthony Edwards. He hoops just like Anthony Edwards. Like I can definitely see that.
Shot. Well, you and I both went, kind of let out a little howl.
Obviously, Summer League is not the best indication of whether a player is going to be a superstar or whether a player is going to be an NBA flop, as we have seen over the years. I mean, just 2 years ago, we saw people call Victor Wembanyama a bust after his first Summer League game, and I think it's safe to say they were wrong. But sometimes you see a rookie come along and look so confident, look so poised, so in control, and quite honestly, just levels above everyone else on the floor that you have to sit up and take notice. And it's not shocking that the number 3 overall pick would do this, but VJ Edgecombe was damn near perfect in his first game of Summer League. And it's more than just filling up the box score, putting up 28, 10, and 4, whilst also being a plus 10 in a game that the Sixers lost, just in case people were going to use the empty stats narrative in Summer League. If you do that, you are a sicko, even sicker than me for making this video. But when I say he was perfect, we saw everything you could have hoped to see on both ends of the floor in that first game. How about showing all of that in one sequence? Like here where the outlet pass gets thrown ahead, and watch closely. As he's about to go for the chase down block, he pulls up at the last second, waiting, and then blocking him from behind after the pump fake. Just that ability to stop as he was loading up for that block and then concentrate and block his shot instead. The ball then gets moved up the court, finding VJ, who casually takes it in one hand before gliding into the chest of the Jazz defender, and then the touch and control to finish at that angle, moving that quickly. That is one sequence from one game of Summer League that gives you just a glimpse of what VJ Edgecombe can do. And when you have a player with that combination of physical tools, a willingness to track back and make hustle plays, and then the ability to also finish at that angle moving that quickly, well, you start to realize he might be very special. But what makes VJ so special is he has all of that speed, all of that burst, all of that athleticism, but he also has composure. He recognizes that he doesn't need to go 100% every time to create advantages. Sometimes the best way to create those advantages is methodically. Just look at this play. Firstly, the movement off the ball to try and get the backdoor cut. When that is closed off, he gets the handoff, and with the defender playing him so aggressively, he casually pump fakes him before the smooth jumper. Or here where it's another handoff with Broom, he attacks hard left and that jump stop before just the little hezzy putting the ball out, and then the soft jumper. And I'm not surprised his favorite player is Anthony Edwards, because whilst most people will draw the parallels from their athleticism and even their body type, that release on their jump shots, that calmness, just navigating a screen and getting to that spot in the mid-range, those are where I can see some serious parallels between VJ and Ant. And I know it's the first game of Summer League, like I have said, but it's almost impossible to see VJ Edgecombe not being a good NBA player. I'm not saying he's a guaranteed superstar. Maybe I am saying that. Okay, I'm not saying that, but how many players with this level of athleticism, intensity, a willingness to defend, cut off the ball, and then have the skill he has, how many of those players are not good NBA players? Find me those guys and I will issue a public apology for this take. And this is the reason the 76ers drafted him to a team with Joel Embiid, Paul George, and a bit of a two-timeline situation. Because with VJ, you get a high floor. You get someone who can do all of those things I just mentioned, defensively, off the ball.
Like, dead ass, like, at worst, I'm not gonna lie, this might be, like, the worst take. I think at worst, this man's maybe Andrew Wiggins. Like, his defense like is gonna be there no matter what. The other shit is just extra.
But as we saw in Summer League, and as we will see in glimpses during the NBA season, you are going to see the shot making. You are even going to see the playmaking. You are just going to see the overall game. And when I say skill, I mean his first bucket of Summer League was special. More special than you might think, where he catches the pass on the move. Watch him use his body to feel out the initial defender, and then the early takeoff and the finish.
Damn.
He made that look easy. That is not an easy shot in any world, and it's the same kind of early leap and high arcing layup attempt that we've seen from the likes of Steph Curry that has made him an all-time great finisher as a guard, despite not being the most athletic or biggest player on the floor. Well, the problem for the rest of the NBA is VJ showed you the touch, the finesse, and the know-how that he has, but as opposed to smaller guards like Steph Curry, he is a freakish athlete. The kind of athlete that can get the rebound, bring the ball up the floor, and then just look at the burst of speed, throwing the ball ahead before the Euro of sorts, and then just throwing it down. That is the level of speed and athleticism he has in the open court. If by some miracle everything else in his game fails, he is still going to be an absolute demon in transition. And as I said, I don't believe other aspects of his game will fail because he has that level of composure. The composure we even saw him display with some playmaking as well. Like here where he gets the screen from Broom. He gets 2 feet in the paint, which forces Filipowski to help over, and he has the recognition to stop and then find Broom open for the 3. Or this time getting the switch onto Filipowski. The Sixers do a good job of moving off the ball, which forces the Jazz defender into making a decision, and VJ makes sure that it's the wrong decision as he drops the dime for the easy dunk. Now, none of this should be that surprising, considering not only was he the number 3 overall pick in last year's draft, but as an 18-year-old, he was the standout player for the Bahamas during their Olympic qualifying process. A Bahamas team with Buddy Hield, DeAndre Ayton, and Eric Gordon. Yet it was VJ Edgecombe who looked the best of anyone on that team, averaging over 16 points, 5 boards, and 4 assists.
Bro, I did not know about this. I knew he hooped with the Bahamas. I didn't know he was like the one putting on the show
per game on 55, 38, 81 splits during qualifying, doing everything he could to help will that team to the Olympics, falling just short, which might be the last time they fall short if VJ keeps developing at this rate. Now, if there was one sign of struggle from Edgecombe in that first game of Summer League, and if there is one thing that he is going to need to work on to become a superstar, it is the three-point shot. But this is where I see the Anthony Edwards comparison and have some hope for Edgecombe. The same way Ant translated some of that comfortability in the mid-range into becoming a three-point shooter, VJ has a comfortable release. He has the size to get his shot off. He can create the separation with his handle, and he shot 78% from the line and a solid 34% from 3. This might be his swing skill, but with everything else he showed in just the first game of Summer League. Yes, the first game of Summer League. This is a guy who is going to be special for the 76ers, and they've got a special young core. Now, if you made it all the way to the end of the video and want to see...
Hey, should I hope? Hey, this video was very informative. I did not know he did all that with the Bahamas. That shit like boost my confidence in him even more. I like this guy's videos, Six Man. So if you guys see any like videos like this one, the Hansen Yang dude, or this Jared McCain video, I'd be down to watch them. Let me know. But this man VJ Edgecombe finna be special. With that being said, we's out of here.